want anybody rolling into the next room. So no wheels on the chair. So basically what we need, as Maria has said, is your body and a chair. The chair I'm using is a standard kind of folding metal chair with got some upholstery on it as a nice wide base for the legs. So the idea is that you can either put it on a sticky mat, or maybe there's a place where you could put the back legs of the chair up where the wall meets the floor or the baseboard, so that when you start pressing on it, the chair isn't going to give way and slide away on you and you might get hurt. So be very mindful about how you approach the chair. Otherwise, if you have optional props, that'd be great. I have some yoga blocks here, and these are very light and styrofoam, but if you don't have those, you could use a couple of canned goods, perhaps, of equal size and weight to substitute, but you don't need to have those. These are just strictly optional items that you might have on hand. A standard yoga strap, maybe you could substitute with a scarf, a dog leash, a belt, a bathrobe tie. And then we did have a question about weight. So I have a set of 1 pound weights here. And if you have a set of 2 pounders, that would be the heaviest I would recommend for this class. We won't be going onto the earth. We'll still be either on our feet or in the chair. And then if whatever's being offered doesn't work for your body, you can modify. I have a shoulder issue, so I modify on this side. Or you could do another posture, or you could skip it. So you decide, you are in charge, not me. And so listen to what the body has to say and what the mind is saying. And we will have questions after the class. So this is a 45-minute yoga fusion. We're going to mix fitness moves with yoga moves. So enjoy, pace yourself, and let's start. Let's start by just taking the feet directly under the hips. You might want to be near your chair or your wall if you have an available wall for balance. But let's just start lifting the right heel up. You're going to press the heel down into the mat. Shift the weight, lift the left heel. And so you're shifting the weight side to side, nice and easy, waking up the feet and the toes. We tend to forget about our feet until they start hurting. So let's move it side to side. Let's do 4, 3, big full breaths, 2, 1. You might want to stay at this pace, or maybe you want to do a double time, little bicycle pedal with the heels. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. You might want to stay right here, but maybe you want to do little bouncing movements, maybe little trotting movements, or not. You can decide. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And now slowly bringing the feet down to stillness. Just don't abruptly stop. Very nice. And if you want to be near your chair or your wall, let's shift the weight into the right leg. We're going to lift the left heel. And now start circling that ankle, the left ankle, and make sure it's the ankle joint initiating the movement. The knee and the thigh are just going along for the ride. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Reversing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's go ahead and shift back to neutral. If you want to shift the weight into the left leg, let's lift the right heel. Circling the ankle. Again, it's the ankle joint initiating the movement. There might be pops and crunches. That's usually air or gas in the joint, so no worries. Let's go the other direction. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Heel comes down. Let's shake out the legs, shake out the feet. Let's take the legs a little bit wider now, perhaps shoulder width apart. The toes could point out slightly. Let's start circling the hips. So think about inhaling forward and then exhaling as you squeeze the navel to the spine as you round in the back. You might want to keep the torso fairly neutral, but maybe you want to get the torso more involved once you get accustomed to how that hip circle feels. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center, pausing here, and then circling in the opposite direction. Inhaling forward, exhaling back for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then coming back to center. Let's roll the shoulders. This could be done sitting as well. If you have difficulty standing for long periods, you can do a lot of these moves sitting in the chair, sitting tall. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, of course, we'll circle in the opposite direction. Noticing range of motion on either side. We're busy generating synovial fluid. That's the material that lubricates the joints throughout the body. It doesn't happen till you move the joint. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. So let's shake out arms here, shaking out legs. And again, the legs can be about shoulder width apart. This will be soft knees, a big breath in. Inhale up, fingertips stretch the sky. Exhale, press the arms down by the side of the body. Inhale up, exhale, press. Stretching and bending for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's relift the arms up to the sky. Now, if you can keep your chest square to the front of your space or your screen, you're climbing that invisible rope, or you could be picking invisible fruit off of the ceiling. Big full breaths here, LSD breaths, long, slow, and deep for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. And then the arms can come slowly down by the side of the body. Let's shake everything out, arms and legs. And now coming with the feet underneath the hips, let's draw the right arm across the front of the chest, using that left forearm to press the inside straight arm into the chest. Big stretch in that right shoulder girdle for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bending that inside elbow very slowly. Maybe the backs of the hands meet, maybe they don't. The idea with this is to pump it up slowly, little tiny pumps, nothing violent, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Bringing that to stillness, unwinding the arms slowly, and give those arms a shake. Recalibrating. Now we're going to take the left straight arm in front of the body. The right forearm presses that straight arm into your chest, getting a big stretch in that left shoulder girdle for 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms stay the same. Inside arm bends. Maybe the backs of the hands meet, maybe they don't. On my side, they're not even close. So you're going to do little pumps up to the sky for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Unwinding the arms, shaking them out. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take our chairs. And if you want to face the back of the chair for your support, great. So now the feet are directly under the hips, the toes point forward. Let's take the left foot forward. I won't mirror you for this. Right foot goes back. See if you can see that, keep the torso upright for this. So lifting the back right heel, inhale, lift, exhale, press. Inhale, lift, exhale, press for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Relifting the back right heel. Now both legs bend and straighten. Little tiny bends and straightens for 4, 3, 2. Let's stay down on 1. Little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Re-straighten. Right foot meets the left. Let's take the left foot back. Both sets of toes point forward. If you need to widen your stance with the legs so you feel stable, please do. And now we lift the back left heel, lifting and pressing for 8, 7, pumping blood into the foot, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. We lift back left heel. Now both legs bend, torso stays upright. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay down on 1. Little pumps. 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-straighten. Left foot meets the right. Let's shake out the feet and the legs. Give them a little shake. And now the feet are going to be in first position. So that means the heels come together. The toes point out 30 to 45 degrees. You're going to face your chair in your first position. So using the chair for support, lifting up on your tippy toes, inhale, lift, exhale, press, lifting and pressing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, remembering to breathe. 1, relifting the heels. Now we're going to keep the heels lifted. The knees track out about 30 degrees because the feet are tracking out. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. Keep the heels lifted. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten for 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-straighten. Now find a spot in front of you that doesn't move. We might try a balance challenge here. Arms float up to sky. Maybe the second arm wants to float up to sky. Maybe it doesn't. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come down slowly. Heels float down slowly. Let's shake out the feet and the legs. Very nice. Now, I'm going to use the chair for balance. You might want to grab a wall if you have a wall or a piece of furniture that doesn't move. I've got one hand on the back of the chair. The weight will go in the left leg, the leg closest to the chair. The right leg will stay straight and the foot is flexed. Maybe you want to rest your right hand on your hip or your waist. We're going to start swinging that straight leg with the flexed foot. The highest you might want to go would be waist height, nothing higher. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we slowly de-escalate here. Keeping the weight in that left leg, lift that right leg. The lower leg is dangling like the pendulum on a clock. See if you can wiggle the leg for 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming to stillness, figure 8 with that right knee. Very mindfully for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Placing that foot down, shaking everything out, taking a few deep breaths. Let's move to the opposite side of the chair. The leg closest to the chair is the right leg. I've got one hand on the back of the chair. Left leg is straight. Left foot stays flexed throughout. And then as you build your momentum going here, breathing, let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly de-escalate. Try not to abruptly stop. And then bringing that to stillness. You might want to do a little wiggle, get back to neutral. And now again, weight is in right leg, floating the left leg up. We can dangle the lower leg like the pendulum on a clock. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Leg comes to stillness. Now making a figure 8 with your left knee for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Float that leg down, shake it out. And of course, noticing range of motion on either side. Let's have our chairs here handy. If you want to have your props handy, have them nearby if you want to use them, but they're strictly optional, all right? So let's approach the chair and mindfully sit down closer to the front of the chair seat than the back of the chair seat. You might want to think about pulling flesh away from sits bones so you get a nice stable base onto the chair seat. So now we're going to take the left hand outside of the right thigh. And the right arm is going to go straight, and you're going to twist to the right. You scan the horizon, and you're going to come to a sticking point. That back arm can wrap around the back of the chair for leverage. So everything from the waist down is pointing forward. Everything from the waist up is twisting to the right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's take a little release now. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. Use those hands for leverage. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly unwinding. No rush to get there. Maybe give a little wiggles between sides. And then you're going to take the right hand outside of the left thigh. Legs are in parallel. Your left hand will be straight. The fingertips scan the horizon as you twist to the left. And then you'll come to your sticking point. Back hand wraps around the back of your chair. Everything from the waist down is pointing forward. Everything from the waist up is twisting to the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying in the twist, but just slightly releasing. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. 2 more. Releasing and squeezing. Releasing and squeezing. Very nice. And then unwinding from the chair, triple slow time, maybe giving it a little wiggle. Might want to bounce the legs a bit here. Let's go ahead and take the legs super wide. So you want to be closer to the front of your chair seat than collapsing into the back of the chair seat, okay? Crown of head lines up to tailbone. Perfect posture. The hands can rest on the thighs. We're going to take the torso and do a sweeping motion from side to side with the torso. So here we go. Inhale, exhale, squeezing the abs as you move through center. Returning back left, squeezing right. So you're moving from side to side, squeezing those abs. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And since we're here, let's start leading with the chin. We're working on flexibility of the spine for this. So try to get as much motion and flexibility in the spine as possible. So as you're leading with the chin, exhale. Tuck the chin as you come back towards the torso, sitting back up. Exhale with the chin. Inhale, tucking the chin as you roll it up. Let's do 4, 3, at your own rhythm, your own pace. 2, 1. And then coming back to sitting. Taking a few breaths here. And now we're going to reverse it. Tucking the chin. Inhale, tuck the chin. Exhale, thrust forward like your head is breaking the waves. Inhale, tuck the chin. Exhale, break the waves. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. And then breathing back to normal. Let's go ahead and take the feet, heel toe the feet together or step the feet together. Maybe you want to bounce the legs. Here you might want to grab the sides of your chair. We're going to do a little bit of movement with the legs. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So you're basically bouncing the legs in and out. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, squeeze the abs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center. Let's shake everything out. Let's take our hands, the 4 fingers together with the thumb. So you create little bird beak hands. Got that? Okay. So from here, close to the front of your chair seat, you're going to plug your bird beak hands right under the collarbone, the clavicle. And the legs can be where you want them to be. Just see what works for you. Let's take that right elbow forward. We're going to move forward with the right elbow, twist and turn and look over the shoulder. Let's stay on the right. Inhale forward, exhale back. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's come back to center. Now we'll approach the left elbow forward. Inhale, circle. Exhale, twist behind. Inhale, circle. Exhale, twist. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then just shaking everything out, hands and arms and chest. Let's return to our bird beaks if that works, or you can just start tapping with the fingers right here in the center of the chest. This is called a thymus thump. The thymus gland resides right here. It's responsible for immunity and probably a lot of other things as well. So we're waking up our thymus, and then we can go up and down the torso, bringing stimulation to the surface of the skin, encouraging the blood flow and your breathing. Let's go ahead and extend now the right arm, and either with your bird beak or the flat of your hand, you're going to tap down the inside of the right arm, the yin meridian. You're going to flip the arm and tap the outside of the arm, the yang meridian. So we're going to tap the neck and the shoulder here. This is a nice area up here where it gets nice and tight from punching over computers and steering wheels. You might want to just take your knuckles or your fingertips and dig into that meaty muscle that's right there. Very good, in the side of the neck. And let's not forget the armpit, because this is the place where the lymph likes to dump. So we'll do 2 more rounds down this right side. Tapping the inside of the arm, coming back up the outside of the arm. You're going to spend some time at the neck and shoulder here. Whatever feels good, really get in there and release some of that tension. And then we won't forget the armpit either. So last time, down the inside of the right arm, up the outside of the right arm, massaging this neck and shoulder muscles. And then don't forget your armpit, your right armpit. Let's stay on the right with your left hand. Now you're going to wrap the left fingers around the right side of the neck. You're going to drag the hand to the left as you turn the face to the right. So this is a nice neck massage, trying to just get into those deep ropes of tension that reside there. At least on me, they do. Ugh. One more time, giving yourself a nice neck massage. Very nice. Let's come back to the thymus thumping. You can go up and down the torso. Very nice. And then coming back out, you're going to extend the left arm. Now you're coming down the inside of that left arm, tapping, flipping the arm, coming up the outside of the arm, beyond meridian. Let's tap up here at the neck and the shoulders. Maybe you want to dig your fingertips or your knuckles into that kneading muscle right here at the neck. Sure, you're all aware of how tight it can get. And then let's not forget the left armpit. And we're going to go down the inside of the left arm. 2 more times. Flip the outside of the arm, working on that shoulder muscle and the neck gets nice and tight. And then tapping the armpit. 1 more time down the inside of the left arm. Back up the outside of the arm. And then massaging the neck and the shoulder muscle there in any way that feels right. And let's not forget the armpit. And now we're going to take that right hand, wrap the fingers around the left side of the neck. Inhale, drag the fingers to the right, turn the face to the left. Noticing range of motion on this side, is it the same as the other side? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, 2 more. You can do this before you go to sleep at night, just to get some relaxation response going here. Oh, yeah. And then just shake everything out. Very nice. Let's go ahead and if you have a strap, great, grab it. If you don't, no worries. Here, you might want to sit farther back onto your chair seat so that both of the thighs are supported by the chair seat. If you don't have a strap, I'd recommend grabbing the back of the thigh and or the calf. We're going to straighten and bend the leg, but not behind the knee. We want to avoid the knee joint because knees get very crabby as we age. You may have noticed. So if you've got a strap, you can wrap it around loop it around the ball of the right foot. No strap, back of thigh and or calf. All right. So here you're going to sit tall, so you're not allowed to collapse backwards. So we're going to inhale, bend the knee, exhale, straighten the leg up as high as you can get it. I can do it in profile. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Rebending, removing strap if you were using one, and placing the foot back on the earth, bouncing the legs to recalibrate. Moving over to the left side of the foot and leg you didn't use before, work before. You can even out the straps if you're using one. Back of hand on thigh or calf, never the knee joint. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Rebending, floating that foot and leg back down to earth. Let's go ahead and bounce the legs 1 more time. Now, if you have a block, wonderful. If you don't worry. If you have an extra chair, you might want to flip the chair around to face you so that the seat is facing you, but it's getting kind of tricky. So, but I'll give you instructions if you don't have the block. Let's take the right leg. The right ankle crosses over the top of the left thigh. Right ankle crosses over top of left thigh. This top right foot is flexed. And you're going to take your right hand and just pump this leg, the soft part of the thigh. And now we're busy pumping synovial fluid into the right hip. You're sitting tall for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's bring it to stillness. Right forearm slides underneath the right calf. You're going to lift the entire lower leg or the leg itself, and maybe rocking it side to side like a baby. If you want to name your baby, you can do that. Or you could circle the knee. So either side to side, circling. If you circle, be sure you're circling in both directions. And then gradually coming to stillness, replacing the right ankle on top of the left thigh, keeping that top right foot flexed. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, you're going to stretch over the legs, maybe reaching for the floor, maybe reaching for the block. Maybe the hands won't get there. Otherwise, grab opposite elbows up here at the top and hang out with the legs up here. The top right foot now also externally rotates. You should feel it in your outer right hip. So this could be a static press. This could be little micro movements here. Try not to let the head dangle. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center, slowly unwinding arms, slowly floating the torso upright. Let's take right hand on right knee, take the ankle away and just circle this leg a few times in one direction and then circling it in the other direction. Very nice. And that foot comes back down to earth. Maybe you want to bounce the legs, maybe you don't. Now let's cross left ankle on top of right thigh. Left ankle on top of right thigh. The top left foot is flexed. You're taking your left hand, you're going to pulse the soft part of the thigh. And now we're pumping synovial fluid into the left side of the hip girdle. So you're sitting tall and you're remembering those long, slow, deep breaths. Little tiny pulses here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Coming to stillness, the left forearm slips underneath the left calf. The opposite hand can grab the foot, and you're going to rock the twin now. Maybe you want to name your twin or not. And it could be side to side, or it could be circular, making circles. If you're circling, be sure you go in both directions. Big full breath. And then gradually bringing that down to stillness, replacing the ankle on top of the thigh. The left foot is still flexed. The arms are going to float up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, going over the legs. Maybe the hands come to the mat. Mine don't. Maybe they come to a block. If they don't come that far, you can grab opposite elbows and hang out with the leg on the top. So now you're going to also, in addition to flexing the top left foot, you're going to externally rotate the top left foot. You should feel it immediately in the outer left hip. And again, it could be a static press. It could be micro movements for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Coming back to center, floating upright with the torso, nice and slow. Left hand on left knee, unwind the leg and do some circles just to get out any air bubbles or any other stuff that might have gotten trapped in there. Encouraging it to leave. Nice and gentle. And then that foot comes down. You can move any props away if you were using them. And I'm going to turn my chair in profile so you can see. You can stay seated. And we'll do some ab work, and then we'll have a brief Shavasana, resting pose in the chair. Again, sit more forward to the front of the chair seat, please, and the back. Crown of head to tailbone flat like a diving board, and you're just going to tilt back. Tuck the chin to protect the back of the neck. You might want to do this half and half, 4 and 4. Lift up one leg, grab the back of the thigh. Maybe lift the other leg, grab the back of the thigh. Point the toes, start fluttering the feet. As you flutter feet, start pumping the belly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And slowly bring the feet to stillness. One leg comes down, second leg comes down. Very nice. Maybe you want to roll the shoulders a bit here, open the chest. Very nice. Let's find our way to standing. Let's go ahead and I think we have time now. Let's do the sitting up and down. So you can either stack hands over the heart, or you could hook thumbs, spread the fingers wide over the heart. That's Eagle Mudra in yoga. Or you might wish to help yourself up with arms as you need. You can decide the best way to perform this. So you're standing in front of your chair. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This next one, we're going to hover. We're not going to land. So hovering here, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Legs come straight. Inhale up. Exhale, press the air away. Inhale up. Exhale, press. Inhale up. Last time, exhale, press. And then making any final movements you would like to make before you arrive in Shavasana. So find your way to your chair seat. You're going to sit tall in your chair, long spine, and the feet will be flat. The palms can be placed onto the thighs for support. And once you've organized your arms and your legs, just allowing the eyes to drop closed, scanning the body, noticing the effects of the practice, noticing where energy may have moved in the body, relaxing the face and the jaw, the back of the neck. So in your imagination, imagine those feet of yours are being placed into a delicious hot tub, warmth and relaxation permeating the toes and the feet. And that warmth, that relaxation moves into the ankles and then the low legs, enveloping the shins and the calves. From here, the warmth moves into the knees, permeating the complex structure of the knees. And from there, it moves into the thighs, allowing legs and feet to become very, very heavy. From there, that relaxation moves into the hips and pelvis. The buttocks release, the low back releases. And from there, it moves in from the pelvis, it goes into the waist and into the torso, enveloping ribs, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, spleen, all the vital organs deeply relaxed. From there, it moves into the chest and shoulders and rolls down both arms, all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the fingertips. It envelops throat and neck now, and then it moves into the head, all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the neck releases, the face and the jaw let go. The tongue lies at the bottom of the mouth, teeth slightly apart. Eyes sink deep into the skull, as though a white circle of healing light permeates every cell in the body. noticing back body and front body, right side and left side, noticing the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. And while we pause and rest here in Shavasana, resting pose, here's a poem by a woman by the name of Dana Faulds, Faulds. Sun says, be your own illumination. Ren says, sing your heart out all day long. Stream says, do not stop for any obstacle. Oak says, when the wind blows, bend easily and trust your roots to hold. Stars say, what you see is one small slice of a single modest galaxy. Remember that vastness cannot be grasped by mind. Ant says, small does not mean powerless. Silence says nothing. In the quiet, everything comes clear. I say, limitless. I say, yes. You'd like to remain in Shavasana for as long as feels right. Please feel free to stay right there. But if you're ready to meet the day, begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. And as you are ready, deepening the breath, let's float the arms up overhead, hands meet in prayer, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, samastiti, this beating heart. All yoga practices are designed to lead you into the experience of the present moment, where you are infinite, eternal, and whole. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.